Okay, so today as we continue the long wait for Bad Moon Rising, which maybe, hopefully, is coming up soon, high voltage current, anything that's sort of low cost, I could give less of a shit about than that, because somehow, and yeah, you're not going to bait me with that, I've pretty much decided I'm going to get, once I get to 1750, unless I want to get 3 Bad Moon Rising, I'm going to have at least 1,000 in reserve for double Bad Moon Rising after waiting all this time. So that means that the 750, I'll buy my first zombie hero, which I can get the Yeti guy, because it meets my condition of, whatever, I have to have 1 legendary of each of their class types to be able to get, to be able to buy it outright. Of course, I can get it from a pack normally, but it just doesn't seem like the game is interested in giving me any from a pack. Like, I've never gotten one. And this is something sort of annoying that happens with the daily quest, where you you try to do it, you know, right away, but it doesn't give you it until you've already played like 1 game or something. Let's go ahead and give Captain Combustible the first shot, as usual, which is sometimes a good fit, even though it seems like I'm giving him special treatment by doing that every single time. He's also the fastest paced, most aggro intensive one of any hero that I have, so it means that at least the games will go quick, whether I go on a quick win streak or whatever. We want to start off on fire, I guess you could say. It's just interesting to think what this game would have been if, you know, they really had committed to it. There's so many cool ideas you could expand upon, so many other fun mechanics, like the aquatic one I always talk about, or, you know, again, just have more of every mechanic that you already have, like, you know, obviously untrickable. It's an awesome mechanic, but there's not enough cards to have it, or whatever. Every mechanic, armor, make different armor values, something with armor 4, with armor 6, with armor 10, like, whatever, power creep over time. It might seem extreme, but, you know, you could have done all kinds of different values with it. Like, of all the armor stuff in the game, everything is armor 1 except for, like, one thing, right? Which is that stupid, actually, this will be better. That Night of the Living Dead or something, which you're probably not even meant to play by itself. I would be the type of dude who, yeah, that's literally me. Describe me in this game in one sentence. I'm literally the dude who would play Night of the Living Dead as a static play, meaning not generated from the king or whatever. I forget the name of the guy, right? I would just play him outright too. Not that I wouldn't like the king on top of that, but I would play him as a static play just because I enjoy that. Like, wow, look at his armor value, and it's kind of fun, but, you know, it's not a very efficient thing. But no, it's like a 3/5 king that gives you like 2 of them, which I forget if it summons them or it just puts them in your hand. It might just summon them, like at the end of the turn it just summons one. I forget what the effect is, but that is a pretty cool card. But just the main point that I'm bringing it up is because of the simple fact that you get to, now it actually helps me, the fact that he made that an environment. So we can even do this. Oh, this is kind of a nasty play. Right, there's no way he should be able to deal with that. And speaking of the Yeti, this is basically what it is. Right, I thought these things were supposed to hide from you and be elusive like Bigfoot, but they're just kind of all... You get to summon them as minions, you get to summon a cosmic version of it, you get to fucking... You know, if it didn't attack that second time, I would have actually won because... You know, the little mushroom guy would have finished you off. Yeah, I'm dreading the day that, like, imagine that. This game will go offline the day before Bad Moon Rising gets released, so it'll cuck me till the very end, even though it's kind of my fault that I didn't get it the first time. I just didn't realize how badly I would want it or how important it would be for me. But the point is that, you know, or I could have just killed him with that ice ray. I don't know why. Whatever, we just want to kill him on the board like a real man. Fuck using tricks. You know, make a 40 trick deck or a no trick deck. Those are the only 2 ways to do it. But the game will go offline the day before Bad Moon Rising was going to come out again, just so I'll never be able to get it. It is similar to actually a mechanic that I'm using in Hearthstone right now in my playthrough of that, where I'm doing all these different gimmick decks with different classes. So I'm playing Shaman, and it's like there are different evolved mechanics is what they're called there, where like you transform something into a higher cost minion or everything on the board, you know, into something that costs 1 more or X amount more. And so that's very similar to Bad Moon Rising, where you just transform everything into something random, but it's going to be on average obviously a lot better than what you had. So in this case, a Gargantua type of thing, but there are other mechanics in this game like that though too, where it's like just transform stuff into something that costs more or whatever. Have plants in 5 lanes. I feel like that doesn't actually happen all that often for me because they're also expendable. They kind of burn out, as Captain Combustible would obviously. Already getting a double rank matchup. And yeah, this is actually the Yeti guy that we are talking about. Right, so I can absolutely get him whenever I feel like I can get him right now, actually. But I'm just going to be patient enough to wait till 1750, so I'm absolutely sure. Now, that's arguably not even a good play to make, but like I could have just killed it with my removal, but I can still do that now. I'm trying to farm up my block meter because why not? It's like one of those weird inverse ramp decks where it's like, I don't know what you actually call them, where you do damage to yourself. Like this minion gets +X for every health that you've lost in the game, like a Warlock deck in Hearthstone or something, or like there's something like that in Magic the Gathering. So like I'm deliberately trying to get myself low to try to use the block meter cards as much as I can, and then we get to, you know, only care about it when I'm actually gonna die. But that one doesn't have any long-term value to it. This one has what? +1/+1 when it hurts the plant hero. That could be pretty dangerous. Why don't we just do it this way then? You might think I should have ignored that, but that's probably gonna get out of hand later. So I feel like this is like a slow-paced type of hero. Not that, oh, it's because he's ice and frozen, so that means he's slow. But no, it means too more like some of those cards, like the Zombie Yeti or the Cosmic Yeti is like that too. I'm just kind of associating that with it. Like, you're meant to kind of flip it back to your hand, and it's going to kind of drag the game out a little more. Maybe I'm wrong even, but he's at least probably mid-range, if not control. Although this game doesn't really have control by the measure of certain games where they have power creep up the wazoo, where it just turns it into something else entirely. Like, a game starts off, and aggro is aggro, mid-range is, mid-range, little best of both worlds. You get to play on the board and stuff, and then, you know, you get to play on the board, you get to play in your hand, you know, a little mix between, do what you got to do to win. But then it turns into, by the time a game has been out for years, right, control will go from, you know, slow pace to literally it'll last your whole lifetime to get through a single game, because it's just so bloated that everything is over the top, where everything gets like pushed over one level. Aggro now has mid-range options where it can last out. Even if it burns out, it'll still have other options to drag out the game. And then mid-range will be able to, you know, mess with control, because you get to whatever, you'll get other power creep options like that. And then I don't know, it's just stupid. Mid-range will feel more like control used to feel, and then control will feel like some other entity altogether, which is not even necessarily always a bad thing, but the power creep does get out of hand sometimes. So this deck doesn't intimidate me too much, because I feel kind of like, I don't know, they're kind of burning out of cards themselves a little bit, but they are getting a certain amount of cycling value through all this. That's like literally one of my things I can do. I think it's the Smash who has it. It's like, I guess there's no reason to hold that back. Like, what am I going to save it for? Like, where he has that Cosmic Yeti that you play it, and then it returns to your hand at the end of the turn, but it actually creates something in your hand, like a pet, right? And so if you keep doing that, you're not trying to trade it. You keep doing that, you get an infinite amount of value. So if we get in, like, some sort of top-decking position, that could actually be God level. Now, if I could just do an extra attack, you could do some unexpected finisher here, but... And we do get the Leafy Synergy, so I should almost just ignore what they're doing. Or here's where you would use this just to like pop their thing. If you were opposing lethal, you could just do it to pop their block meter. Oh yeah, this is the guy we were even just talking about, Zombie King. What a creative name. Wait, we would have to do this just for the sake of it. And we might want to transform another, okay, random zombie into 5/5 Knight of the Living Dead with armor 2. This is just not even going to do anything, but I'll just do it anyway. So this should at least kill it with the trading incapability, and of course Poison Ivy is going to be there for me, but I'm completely burnt out of cards now. Right, so we kind of denied him to... that's kind of a cool animation, how his head just falls off like that. We deny him the ability to actually get that. One of my most sought after cards, probably. That I would love to see that guy, or even one of the knights. And I would like to see that Octo Zombie. I love that. And you might think, oh, you know, that's a control card, so why do I even like that? Because I like mid-range so much, but I would use it in a mid-range way. Like, you know, I would just do it, and if you can't deal with it, then I just win on the spot. I don't expect it to, like, last out forever, but it's just annoying enough on its own where, you know, it could be good. We're still in a good spot. I guess I let this stick around for just way too long. Am I gonna let Captain Combustible down? This is still okay, but I just need something that'll actually serve as a good finisher, and I just don't have it. Fuck. But that's one of those like RNG things where the block meter could have saved me, but you just get the wrong sort of roll on it. Right, where sometimes it'll give you 2 ticks, sometimes it'll give you 1 tick. Let's do the, obviously the smash. But yeah, we're just trying to save up for 1750, then Badman Rising, and then once I get that, I'll make like a push for rank 50, or at least I can try to, but again, I'd have to make like a more dedicated thing out of this where I do it like every day, or I do it a lot longer sessions or something. Not that this game should be as time consuming as others. Like if I wanted to do that in Magic Arena for the first time, try to get to rank, whatever, mythic rank 38 opponent. This is why it doesn't intimidate me that much. It's like, what would it take for me to get to rank 50? Well, I guess I have a pretty good idea because I'm playing an average of rank 30 and above, no matter what rank I am, even though I've never been above rank 20 myself, right? The matchmaking is so broken that it doesn't really matter what rank you're at. You still get a taste of what high-level decks are like, and I've beaten them a number of times. I can't really beat them consistently, but it's like I like to play at a low rank on purpose just to, you know, I like to play at a low rank just to avoid the meta, and I just like to play fun and gimmicky stuff. Also, by trying to play at a low rank, you end up getting screwed over by, you know, rank 40s anyway, so you can't really avoid it. Like, I guess this game is an anti-smurf experience. Or it kind of encourages it at the same time. You can't smurf in this game because you'll still be playing rank 40s even if you're rank 1. But also, it encourages it because that means the rank 40s get to prey on low rank players and they still get to benefit from it. Like, I don't know. You just kind of seem to gain and lose an adequate amount of rank regardless. Like, I shouldn't lose anything. Well, I guess, I don't know when you even start losing stuff because usually when I lose games, it doesn't cost me ranks anyway. Maybe that just starts at a much higher rank, or maybe it never happens. I don't even know. But like up to rank 20, it didn't seem to really bother me too much. You can play a couple of these tricks here, and this is one of those annoying cards that you just can't let it stick around. But of course, this guy's just playing doubles of everything. Like, he played 2 of these back to back, then he played 2 of those back to back. He gets +2/+2, so you'll be able to kill actually both of those, or let's just buff everything all the way. That's a pretty beastly turn, but the only problem with it is the fact of the only problem is that we can't deal with that stupid P-pod, and they're getting immense value from that. But that was still the best case scenario, right? At least you're finishing them off very quickly. And I guess I could have done that even if I couldn't have. You know, that's probably worth it. I always like to play amphibious stuff in the water just to try to, you know, assume they can't deal with that, so it'll just chip away at them the whole game, but it's okay. This is a rank 38, so I mean, we gotta end this quickly, otherwise we're screwed. Clearly, it's my superior skill as a player that would make the difference, because they must be using a better deck. Not that it would take much to have a better deck, because obviously, I guess I can't complain because I have been pretty fortunate with some of the stuff I've gotten here. It's just, you know, double dark matter dragon fruit. It makes me seem like a pay-to-win tryhard, even though obviously, you know, there's no reason to hold stuff back because I gotta end this quickly. That frenzy could be pretty good, and we are getting our full mid-range dream come true scenario. Now maybe I should almost just No, I mean, I should do this, but whatever. Like, this almost makes my deck seem pretty good, but if I don't win, like, right now, it doesn't matter. Yeah, every time I change the category, you change the game. I'm like Carl Anthony Towns. Everybody makes fun of him for saying that because his team was always so bad, but it's like, I guess now he finally gets credit for that because at least they made a good deep playoff run. So the block meter is going to save them. It's going to be very, oh, but it doesn't. See, we lost the last game, or we won the last game because, no, we lost the last game because we got an unfavorable tick of RNG, but now we win this one. I really hate that too, on top of how the block meter already works, because, wait, oh, I was gonna say we've won 2 games because we won one with Captain Combustible, but it was before the daily quest really spawned in there. We just beat Casually at rank 38. Like, what the fuck, dude? It was obviously intense, but that's the way I like it. It's just, now we play a rank 13. It's just so random. I can't complain because the matchmaking is pretty fast. Even if these are bots, it's still pretty fun to play against them. Like, they feel, I don't know. Some games you can just tell, or it'd be just like super boring. You should probably just do that. Playing with 4 or less, obviously we can save for later. Or like, I never play those event games or whatever it's called, right? Like the weekly event stuff. I'll just buy the event card outright, but I'm not going to save up the tickets because of course I don't play. We go 1-1 plan with no ability. Let's just do this. If they can't deal with this quickly, they're in trouble. But how embarrassing would that be? I just beat a rank 38 and then I'm going to lose to a rank 13. I guess 13 is an unlucky number, but not for him. It's +1/+1 when you play a plant here. Okay. I still feel like they do a disservice to Cattail though, because of the simple fact that, you know, it's supposed to be one of the best. Oh shit! No. I thought, fuck. For some reason, I thought that would summon something for me, not for him. That was the worst possible thing you could have done. I'm just self-trolling now. But I mean, you can still just get rid of that. Exactly as planned. Go ahead and give myself a better health value so that thing will stay alive too, the flag guy. And of course, that's one of the many event cards that I wasted 500 gems on. But, you know, my collection could be a lot better than what it is. Just, I would have like 25 extra packs if I didn't buy like a total of 5 event cards for 500 gems each. But whatever, it can be sometimes fun. But most of the ones I got weren't even that good. Like, I got that stupid psychic spoon thing just so that I could, whatever it's supposed to be. It's like you can look in your opponent's gravestones, but I've never actually gotten to use that effect properly because, you know, every time I play it, it's in the early game, and so they don't have any gravestones out, and then it dies before I get. I still want to keep this guy alive. That guy will keep hitting me in the face, which that can add up over time, but at least now we would trade into that. The raw zombie is kind of annoying to deal with, but, you know, maybe it'll cuck whatever play he was gonna do, but realistically, you should never do that. I should just go for the actually better statted one. I just always make fun of how shitty the raw zombie is. Yeah, give me the raw zombie again so I can play its effect again. Wow. I just want to finish off that stupid mushroom though, because it's going to keep taking away at me as I play tricks here. Yeah, it's just so bad, especially when you compare it to the Brainana or just really anything else overall. Okay, we'll just do that one as a static play. So we have a pretty good board. I mean, this deck actually seems pretty boss when it works, but it's just, it's not going to be the truly slow-paced control decks because it's not going to have quite enough to stick with them. And it's also not going to... Why do I feel like I've never even seen this before in my whole life? It's basically like, it could be a potential, another innuendo card too, but not quite as conspicuous as that ball and chain one. The, whatever, the guy lifting the dumbbell with the nuts. That one almost seems like they did it on purpose. Like they know what they're doing with that one. It's just so blatant. Now this one you almost just want to do, but you also, you know, let's just hold back a little bit because our board is already pretty formidable, so I don't have to overcommit. Right, so just in case he's able to clear the board, we can still play that thing later. But that's also not the style of play that I should be going for because it should just be over. But no, I love this more so not because of the statting or the armor, just because of the trick cuckery, if you will. Yeah, that's still a pretty efficient play. I just wanted to guarantee that I get rid of that. And then we can always play the nurse later. Where the stupid raw zombie falls, a nurse gargantua will rise. Where it falls, mandrakes grow. That's like a line from Waiting for Godot, which I don't know what it means. It's supposed to be some innuendo line like where you're, whatever, when you're finished pleasuring yourself, where it falls, a mandrake will grow, but I don't know what that means or like where that comes from. That's a pretty sick animation always. I do like it. Are we gonna somehow lose now? It's so explosive. It's just a star, dude. It's not like fucking... Or it's just a 2-attack minion. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. This is going to be all zombies get +2/+2, which hopefully will be the... I don't know why I even bothered playing it there. But it'll hunt if you play somewhere else anyway. Oh no, the splash damage will fuck me over. But it won't if I just do this, because you'll die... We'll bounce the nurse then, because you were gonna kill it anyway. No, now the nurse should survive and kill you if you get to do this. Lost to a disco ball, but not the one that I actually like the wall knight. Look how I baited your whole splash damage thing. But maybe there was nothing you could do anyway. Okay, so the smash is doing pretty good here, stealing the limelight from the... Let's try to get to those 5 wins at least. Stealing the limelight from the combustible, who usually does pretty good at the beginning. And normally whenever I play a Rose, it's always like a rank 40 taco crazy, you know, meta deck. Because... whatever, like just, you typically don't see them at low ranks. In fact, I even had the chance to get her myself instead of combustible because I met the condition within my legendary protocol thing. But... you know, obviously I don't like Rose. She's just annoying in every game that she exists in, like Garden Warfare and stuff too. When revealed, destroy one of their nuts or berries. Let's just not even worry about that. Yeah, this is a perfect example of like a mid-range type of deck. You just have some solid stuff to survive the early game, and then you just summon a lot of big minions in the middle, typically at a ramp at a discount, you know, with the flag guy, and then you just try to beat them there. And if you can't do that, then you'll probably lose. But if you can do that, then you'll probably, you know, just schlong them before they can do anything about it. And so that I find very satisfying. Like, we get the nurse out, we get that other amphibious thing out, and it's just kind of fun to, you know, show off kind of the big strong minions that you have, which is one of the core appeals of a card game in the first place. Like, you want to summon your Blue Eyes White Dragon in Yu-Gi-Oh, and you just want to, you know, just show it off and just win because of that, instead of all these kind of little petty, nuanced, stupid things that people mess around with, such as Rose. But even that's supposed to be mid, as it says in the name, heal mid Rose, but it's just annoying because I also don't like healing as a mechanic very much typically. This would be very strong. Alright, that'll still be fine. They're not really doing anything very impressive, but... oh, here we go. Everybody's showing off the star, dude. But this should always let me survive it, but let's appreciate how badass the animation actually looks. And unfortunately, the star fruit's still gonna get the last lap because it'll kill everything next turn, since I wasn't able to finish it off. Or we can get rid of it with that, which is definitely very prudent. So we can do that. We can buff something else too, which I'm not even sure what I want to buff, or now I'm going to be screwed with that. Or they think they can extend the life of the star fruit even more, but I won't let that happen. I guess I should do it to this one just so I can kill that stupid watermelon at least. But even when you trade into something like that, right, it's still gonna get the splash damage off, so that's still very tough. And now you have to rely on this, but he keeps escaping my ability to play it because, you know, I lost the discount there. Now they're gonna win as the game drags out, because this is exactly what a character like Rose is gonna do to you. Yeah, this has been a fun playthrough, so maybe I'll sort of pseudo end it, just in terms of, you know, once I get Badminton Rising, even though this is like a random thing. Conjure a history card, but I conjured the same one, so I kind of wanted something else. What the fuck? You might say I should have saved that, but I was trying to get a play I could actually do there. You know, like, then I can kind of finish it and get to rank 50 at some other point, like, whatever. I don't know why that should be such a big momentous occasion, but I don't know how long I also want this to go on for. I could just keep playing it till the game literally goes offline, but I don't know. Try to collect every card in the game, which would be pretty much impossible because you're not going to be able to guarantee that. Freeze all gravestones, like you want to cryogenically preserve us, like you're doing us a favor. Try something with 4 or less. Yeah, we can just get rid of that. I don't think I really have much amphibious stuff in here, actually. Yeah, this is what I live for, though, to see Rose's stupid face like that, trembling in agony and fear. Doesn't even matter if I beat her, it just kind of, her whole existence just triggers me. Oh my god, again with the star, man. It's not really going to do a whole lot. In fact, it's not going to do hardly anything to that guy. Why shouldn't this have an armor value of 2, though? I don't like how it equates, you know, the cone guy has 1 armor and so does this guy. Like, what the fuck is that? What we can do now is you can figure out this. Zombie evolution, destroy a plant. Which means what? You have to play something on top of it, right? Which we could play like the surfboard guy. Or wait. I don't know what that actually means. You'll kill the nurse, but you won't kill the football guy, and you won't deal with the frenzy with this either. Right? So maybe you should have played it there. But you're trying to protect the star thing at all costs. Okay, you just give up. No, you don't even let me have the satisfaction of beating Rose's stupid face one more time. Look at her fanning herself like the clown that she is. Okay, I guess we'll just win all 5 as Smash, and I'll be satisfied with that. And I keep saying, oh, my highest rank that I got to is rank 20, but I don't think I've even gotten there in a super long time. Or maybe I have, but... Oh, here we go. Rose again, dude. Let's not be denied. Beating up on her. Tickle me, Skelly. We have like a pseudo synergy with, like, you know, a couple plants, or not plant stuff. We have a couple sport things. We have a couple, whatever. We have a couple sports, couple pets, but not like one consistent synergy. In fact, this is the deck that has the Cosmic Yeti that I keep talking about, but I don't think I even have gotten it once yet. I mean, you could bait it away if you want, but this type of deck, at least we should play on the board a little more. And again, this is the whole philosophy that I like, is that you play on the board not to... You play on the board not to... Oh, shit. And that's just a permanent effect, too. So as much as I underestimate and make fun of the whole ice mechanic in this game, it can be very tough. It's like, you know, you're playing on the board, you're trying to win on the board, you're doing everything like, you know, more minion focused, board control focused. And we sort of lose that sometimes in card games, definitely not in this one, just because it wasn't out for long enough and didn't have enough expansions. It would have inevitably gotten to that point. But, okay, that still worked out pretty well. And this is one of those things, like, why even bother holding it back, even though it's not really helping me. But you should play a little more reactively. But, you know, I'm still always in that aggro mindset in this game, just in general. Move a plant, draw a card. I don't want to let that thing get out of hand, but I also don't want to waste this on here. +1/+1 when plant enters the lane, so it would still have some attack value if that happened. Yeah, the Smash is pretty cool. I do like at least the playstyle that I have with them. Not to judge that that's the only playstyle you can do, but, you know, even Combustible I don't mind as much as I'm not really much of an aggro fan. There's no real reason to even do this, but I don't know. There's just no point. I guess I should have done it just for the card draw, but now you're going to be frozen. Now you're going to take advantage of that. I'm probably going to lose just because I wasn't able to deal with this. You're getting immense value just from whatever, the same interaction over and over, and I just can't deal with these stupid things. It's not even like I'm trying to play it super aggressively or anything. It's just, I don't know. There's nothing I can really do about it. Freeze the zombies next door. I mean, at least they committed to the idea. Like, this is one of those decks you can tell was crafted, right? You couldn't, not even that it's that good, because, like, you know, I have plenty of good cards, but this is, like, synergistic in the sense that, you know, you have all these things that fit perfectly well together. It would be very hard to get this randomly just through opening packs. Right, it's just too perfect, it's too on the nose, and this is almost the kind of thing I would want to do. Not that I like the freeze mechanic, but just I like the commitment to it. Even like a good version of an ice deck wouldn't include this because, you know, it's too much of a hard commit. The best ice deck is going to have a few ice cards, right, and some other synergies mixed in, but it's not going to have every single ice card in the game, or not like 4 copies of every single ice card in the game, because that's like overcommitting to the mechanic where it's not even good anymore, and it's not even like a win condition. It's just like a self-indulgence to the mechanic just because you like it or whatever. But that's the kind of deck that I often like to make. Is, you know, I'll have like every untrickable minion in the game and 4 copies of each one and just kind of go hardcore with it. Just because it's fun, even, not because it's so good. So we'll still get, or no, we won't get the block meter. I keep saying it. We've had like 3 games decided like that, where we think we're going to get the block meter, or we think they're going to get the block meter, but then they just don't. Let me do Green Shadow. I have been enjoying Wall Knight, though, too. Pretty much I enjoy everybody besides Solar Flare. For whatever reason, I just don't like her. I don't like the whole emphasis on the anti-hero mechanic. Guess that's an okay hand. Let's just try to win the 5-game threshold at least. Yeah, this is such a weird, winding path for me to end up not only playing this game, but playing it for such a long period of time, too. I never would have imagined it. You almost should just trade into that, but somehow I'm being lazy about it. Or I could just use the 5 damage thing to deal with it, but I shouldn't even do that either. Right, like taking that 4 damage is very questionable that early on. You could do both. Like, you could save this and then kill it too. But I feel like that 5 is kind of wasted on that. I'll still do it though, but see, the only reason why that would make sense is if you're playing it in like a really aggro sense, which I'm not. Right, like I'm not trying to do that. I'm just, every deck ends up devolving into that at times if I'm going against something better or faster paced, but I don't know whether this deck is of that quality that I'm going up against. You'll always notice that about me, whether I'm winning or losing, I'm playing on the board more, and I'm going to, you know, sort of fill up the board a bit. Meanwhile, they'll be playing out of their hands like the clown that they are, but not saying that's not a valid playstyle. And in fact, again, in this game, it's not so bad because there aren't enough tricks, or it's not like a viable enough playstyle where you can just use removal forever or win conditions forever like that. Like, I haven't seen like a ton of OTK stuff where it's like, or maybe I haven't seen any OTK actually. Maybe stuff that would resemble it or attempt it, but not in actual effect. Like, where you'll play like 5 tricks in one turn and just one-shot me because of it. Right, there aren't that many high damage face, like high face damage tricks, really. Opponent disconnected, okay, whether it's because he was in such a bad spot or whether it's just he felt like doing that. I don't know. Okay, let's try to play for the 100 here. So we'll be up to like 1,300, and then for the end of season thing, you'll get like maybe another 100. So you'll be pretty close to 1,750. I gotta show an immense amount of discipline with respect to. See, I'd be better off just keeping it, I guess. Because then I'm gonna get something even higher cost. I love the way these two look. Neptuna and who's the other one? Like Immortica, I think. I guess I may as well just do that. Why is everybody doing that on turn 1? That same exact fucking anti-hero ninja clown. Yeah, I shouldn't swear when I'm playing this game. This is a kid's game. This is literally the game that you play in school under your desk on your phone, right? That's exactly the target demographic. So that you don't even necessarily want to do. I mean, I guess amphibious get +2, aren't amphibious get -2. So I'm assuming whatever they summon there isn't going to be that strong. Or it's not even going to be relevant at all. So that works for me too. When revealed, move the zombie, so you have no choice too. So that's a good start. Anything you summon there is going to have some difficulty dealing with that too. I don't know if I should bother buffing it even further though. Maybe I should just do this and then... No, I don't know. Now, we can't actually freeze that because... Or that's just going to be the same thing too. What the hell? Okay, that'll trade in. That's perfectly fine with me. You can move it back there, but then... Okay. Or no, I guess... Whatever. Still fine as long as we just keep board control. Meaning you just never want to let them have more minions on the board than you do. Or stronger ones, effectively, collectively. We can do this. We can do the buff, I guess, too. Or, you know what? Let's do this first, and then we can try to buff that. Maybe I should have played it there, but I kind of don't want to let it trade in even. Or it would have actually had 0 though, because, you know, losing the anti-hero plus having the -2 from that. Oh, we can buff the shit out of this guy though. Right, even for like next turn. Let's just completely ignore what they're doing. Or no, I guess I won't, because I'll go for the leafy synergy too. So we'll buff this guy even more. And I highly doubt they're going to have a way to deal with it, but maybe they will, because they have enough. They have enough of the stupid brains to actually do it. Nowhere that you can actually move it. Eyes in a gravestone. Nice one, dude. Okay, this is all kind of desperation play, though. They're still getting it. Get destroyed next turn, so our hard commit to the repeater doesn't get punished, really. Like, they can try to deal with it for 1 turn, but some good that's going to do you. What does this thing do again? Invasive species. Well, in an environment, this gets +3. I like his expression. It's just so, like, nonchalant. He's just, like, all business. I mean, you have no choice really but to do that. Okay, you should be pretty much dead. Right, even with block meter and all, not a very impressive board. Nothing you can really move around. We sure played around that move effect, but I mean, you know, it's just one of those things. Like, I would have played... You're letting me have board control anyway, so why wouldn't I just take it? Like... That's often how my decks go too, and even in a game like this, it's maybe a bit more casual and simplistic, but, you know, to my own credit, I do that in like other games too, or whether it's a good thing or not, it's like, you know, you just play what you have on curve. So turn 4, just play a 4 cost. Turn 5, just play a 5 cost. Like, there's usually not that much nuance to it, depending. Like, it'll just be a case of, you know, just play whatever you got whenever you got it, just because it's usually just a static minion on the board. You're not really saving up for some crazy win condition or other effect. So we got 1,300, so we're getting very close. So in the whole playthrough of this, we would have gotten 1 zombie hero and 1 plant hero. That's it. Like, you know, that's all we ever got. And neither of them were from a pack. because we had gotten obviously combustible for 750 as well. We just bought it outright, and we've sort of spoiled the plants too much in this playthrough. We can play this in the water, I guess, just to see, try to see what's in the gravestones later on, just because I don't think I've ever really gotten a chance to use that effect. Maybe I shouldn't have even done that, but this is like a psychic Pokemon. What is it actually supposed to be though? Flower root. But it looks like a fucking spoon, so I don't get it. I mean, that's the whole point, right? It's supposed to be like a psychic spoon that you kind of bend to show off your powers or something. Okay, we can just do that as a static play, perfectly fine. I love the way this guy looks, but what's weird about him is you can't use him as Wall Knight, right? Even though that's literally, he's using a Wall Knight in the image, but yeah, this game does represent one good psychological effect with respect to try to make you forget that you're playing a card game as you're playing a card game, as in these don't really make me think of a card too much, right? Like, it's just the picture. I would even get rid of the outline and stuff. Just show me the cost, the value in the picture, or don't even show me those things. Show me them only if I zoom in on them or whatever. But then on the board, there's no feeling whatsoever that you would that these are cards, right? They just feel like they're minions. You're playing them like you're playing, you know, actual Plants vs. Zombies, like just playing stuff on the field, or like you're playing an RTS game and you're just summoning a unit, right? It doesn't feel like that. So I don't know why so many games misfire on that idea. Maybe that's why this game went out of business or didn't keep support, because the standard was too high for the cosmetics, so they couldn't hire the budget for, you know, making all these visuals and stuff for all the cards, so they couldn't afford it. So it's like, we'd rather make no cards than make them look a little shoddy instead. Which is maybe actually partly true, just because, you know, even big budget card games like Hearthstone and Magic the Gathering don't have necessarily appearances this committed. Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of did it a little bit with some of their games, but, you know, imagine that with like 10,000 cards in Magic, you have to make each one have its own unique, I mean, they make it have its own appearance, but like this, like fully fledged and animated and stuff like that, not just like a flat static card on the ground. Like, maybe they went above and beyond, but it didn't matter because they only did it once, or for whatever limited expansions that they had with like less than 1,000 cards in the game. Okay, why does everybody keep disconnecting? I'm literally lag switching my way to victory. Yeah, we are on a good track when it comes to the gems. I'm gonna get banned for somehow hacking the game, but rank 15, rank up. So what are we actually at? 1335. So we are super close, right, to being able to buy the hero. If I get 1750, that would be all I would have to do, because I get to right, that's actually what you are going to pay for it. Let's just recap. What are the two legendaries that allow me to do that? And they're going to be the only two zombie legendaries that I have, period. And of course, some of these are things that I've never even used. In fact, I won't even look at them. Loves ice cream, snowstorms, and brains. Not necessarily in that order. Like, what is the beastly and the sneaky hero? Or, I mean, the legendary. We got the cowboy imp thing, right? The one that moves one to the right every time it does damage. And then for the beastly one, we have the nurse, I suppose. The nurse Gargantuar. Which, again, even that one. So we've only gotten 2 legendaries as a zombie. Technically 3, but 2 copies of the same one. But 2 of them were guaranteed from a pack. Like the nurse pack, whatever. It came in something, and I bought it at like 2 separate times. But they were both guaranteed to have that. So that kind of undercuts the whole meaning of it, whereas the plants have been utterly spoiled the whole playthrough. You would think, oh, it's the same thing, like you must have bought that dark matter dragon fruit in a pack, but, you know, in a guaranteed one, but there is no such thing. We got obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, but then double of the same one. So obviously the Astrocado is okay. I mean, maybe it requires a little more support, but even just having team up to protect the little thing, what is it called? Like a little seed or something? The pit, right? You just have like walnuts to, whatever, the walnut scheme up shit to try to play into that. This thing is okay on its own if it sticks around. This is okay, but this is one of those cards that just gets removed like within 5 seconds of playing it, so you're never actually going to see the value from it. And then you have, like, look how few there actually even are, though, in the game. So I guess having 5 out of those isn't too bad, right? And I certainly can't complain about this. This is, again, one of the highest RNG luck moments, and not just in this game or in card game history, but in, like, all of life. You might not think it's that big of a deal considering how few legendaries there are, but even to get 2 legendaries kind of in a row period, because I got them almost like back to back, it felt like. Not only to get them so close to each other, like within 3 packs, I'm pretty sure. Or no, maybe I got some other legendary, but I got like 2 legendaries in 3 packs, and one of them was a Dark Matter Dragon Fruit, and possibly both of them were. Right, but just to even get 2 and to get them that early in the playthrough is utterly insane. So the other one I could have gotten here was maybe this one, because Dark Matter Dragon Fruit is this, and then one of the other ones is there. Or you would think I would be able to almost get anything I want here. Like Chompzilla was in contention, but I guess I decided to commit fully to, you know, this is just more of a committed aggro style, whereas this has like a mix of identity in there. Okay, see you tomorrow.